Chicago's #1 news, ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7, starts streaming now.
A young student at Michelle Clark was the victim of a shooting and they subsequently lost their life. It's a tragedy.
And we begin tonight with news that is breaking from the west side of Chicago, where a 15-year-old boy was killed in a shooting. Police now promising justice for the teenager's family.
That shooting happened just after the school day ended, not far from Michelle Clark High School. Tonight, Kate Kogirin joins us live from the 15th District Police Station, where police and school leaders spoke just a short time ago. Kate?
Well, Rob and Cheryl, we learned in that update from Chicago police that the 15-year-old boy was a student at Michelle Clark High School. The 15th District Police Commander called this both mind-numbing and heartbreaking. Investigators telling us the 15-year-old was standing near a sidewalk by the school in South Austin on the 5100 block of West Harrison when he was shot. It happened just after 3:15. Chicago police say they are still in the preliminary stages of investigating, including reviewing surveillance video, and at this point we're not able to offer any details or circumstances of what may have led up to this shooting. But both Chicago police and Chicago Public Schools vowing justice and support for the teen's family and all impacted by his tragic death.
I've been on this job 26 years. It doesn't get any easier. You hate to see anything happen to children, the children in our community.
And our goal tomorrow is to make sure that we have the necessary supports to support all of our students and staff and families at the school.
Chicago Public Schools Chief of Safety and Security said there would be support from both school, community, and police. That includes grief counselors and added security measures. Chicago police, they're also pleading with the public tonight, if you have any information, to please contact them. So far, no one is in custody. Reporting live in South Austin, Kate Kogirin, ABC7 Eyewitness News. Back to you.
Kate, thanks for the live update. Demolition already underway after a Chicago condo building caught fire early this morning. Happened in the Hyde Park neighborhood. That fire burned for hours overnight.
Well, one person was seriously hurt and many others are out of their homes tonight. Evelyn Holmes speaking with people who lived in that building.
Now, crews have managed to make this building safe, secure it so that there's nothing falling off of it. They're working on the building next door. This is fire investigators still trying to figure out what caused this devastating fire that left one woman critically injured. As efforts continue to make the building safe, Patty Landfair is now among nearly a dozen people left displaced by the flames.
It's rough. My place, I stay in the first floor. My place is pretty much flooded.
Her ground floor apartment is in the building next to the 4-story condo building where the flames erupted early this morning, critically injuring a woman in her 80s who lived on the second floor.
This is a very traumatic situation. When you woke up, you didn't expect to lose your home.
Calls for help began around 3:30 this morning after flames and heavy smoke were seen coming from the property located in the 5100 block of South Kenwood Avenue. Firefighters arrived to find the 4-story building engulfed by flames and residents in neighboring buildings trying to escape the danger.
People were knocking on doors saying, "Fire, fire, gotta get out." Someone on the street was screaming, "Get out of the building, your building's on fire."
Hundreds of firefighters eventually descended on the block in the city's Hyde Park neighborhood to battle the flames, which had already consumed most of the building and the apartment's back porches. They took a defensive mode as the home's roof collapsed.
There is a heavy fire load or hoarding conditions on the second floor of this unit, which made it very difficult for us to get in.
This afternoon, fire investigators inspected what's left of the property, hoping to determine the cause and origins of the devastating fire. This, as a son, is among those grateful his mother and the others got out alive.
It's still the holidays. It's still Christmas, because guess what? You're still here.
Now, it appears as such preliminarily that there were working smoke detectors inside the property. This as fire investigators continue their probe. We are told that no firefighters were injured, and those 8 individuals who were displaced have found other places of safety to be until they can find new housing. Demolition for the property should start tomorrow. Reporting from Chicago's Hyde Park neighborhood, Evelyn Holmes, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Evelyn, thank you for that update and report for us tonight here at 7 o'clock as we go outside on this Tuesday and take a live look at the city. It's beautiful. The weather is not bad. However, we need some sunshine.
Haven't had it in a
It's been
few days.
great.
Yeah, I don't know if it's coming for a few more days. Meteorologist Cheryl Scott with us today at 7.
Hey, Cheryl.
She's got the ABC7 AccuWeather forecast. It looks like maybe some rain in the area, huh?
Yeah, some scattered light showers here moving on through. Cloudy skies really will be the theme as we head through the remainder of this week and holding strong on our 7-day. Not a lot of sunshine over the next couple of days. Live Doppler 7 Max showing the scattered light rain here. We zoom on in just north of the city right now, stretching back towards parts of DuPage. Even Will getting in on this just off to the east there of Romeoville. So these light showers moving on through associated with a weak disturbance that is pushing through. You can see some scattered light rain showers here, some snow up to the north as we head into the next couple of hours. A few sprinkles expected, but then we'll start to dry out overnight with some areas of patchy, dense fog, and that cloud cover will also linger into the day tomorrow. So temperatures will be falling just a few more degrees overnight. We do dry out, but again, reduced visibility with some patchy fog developing in parts of the region for the commute tomorrow. And then cloudy skies here expected through the day, perhaps a peak or two of sun, but really mostly cloudy skies expected for our Wednesday. Rain and snow threat Thursday into Friday. We're going to time that out coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Cheryl, thank you. Tonight, we are learning more about a shooting overnight involving an off-duty Chicago police officer and people trying to steal a catalytic converter. This all happening in the 2800 block of Grace in Irving Park. Stephanie Wade sharing what we've learned about this case so far today.
This shooting unfolded overnight in a seemingly quiet northwest side neighborhood. An off-duty Chicago police officer firing a gun at suspected thieves over a catalytic converter.
Confirmation that the off-duty fired his weapon. That is confirmed.
Neighbors awoke to loud screams and gunfire around 2:50 Tuesday morning in the Irving Park neighborhood.
I think what they said was, let's get out of here or get out of here. Then I heard 3 gunshots. Then I heard a car speed away.
According to the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, an off-duty Chicago police officer fired his weapon after seeing thieves stealing catalytic converters. The officer told police one of the offenders pointed a gun at him. That's when he says he pulled out his weapon and fired shots. The suspects sped off, but not before hitting these parked cars near Grace and Francisco Avenue.
It was the worst thing to wake up to.
Hitting Jahaira Gutierrez's first car that she just bought.
Literally 2 months ago. Yeah, so it's just fairly new.
We had an incident around that same area yesterday.
Catalytic converter thefts a growing concern across the Chicago area as thieves look to steal them for the precious metals they contain.
All across the city and across the northwest side, we have seen an uptick in catalytic converter thefts.
The 35th Ward Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa recently partnering with CPD to put tags on people's catalytic converters in case they're stolen.
If they're tagged with a specific sticker that shows who the owner is, we can then prove that that was stolen, and that may help prevent future theft in our area.
And the off-duty Chicago police officer was not hurt but was taken to the hospital for chest pain. Meanwhile, no one is in custody as COPA is investigating. In Irving Park tonight, Stephanie Wade, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Updating breaking news from earlier this evening, the Trump Organization found guilty on multiple charges of criminal tax fraud. This is connected to a 15-year scheme by top executives to avoid paying personal income taxes on perks such as apartments and luxury cars. As punishment, the company could be fined up to $1.6 million. Lawyers for the company say they will appeal this verdict. Donald Trump and his family were not charged in this case.
Well, back here at home, a taxi is totaled after it hit a building in Chicago's Old Town neighborhood. This all happening in the 1800 block of North Clark Street. You can see there was some damage to the building. Chicago police telling us tonight no one was hurt.
Culver's in Morton Grove back open today after a driver went through the window yesterday. 4 people were hurt inside this Culver's on West Dempster. The 79-year-old driver told ABC7 she was changing lanes and lost control of her car. She was ticketed for improper lane usage.
Now to the suspect in the Colorado Springs mass shooting, now formally charged with hate crimes and murder. Anderson Lee Aldrich was back in court today. Murder charges already carry the possible sentence of life in prison, but prosecutors say it was important to show the community that hate crimes are not tolerated. Aldrich is accused of killing 5 people at a gay nightclub last month.
Polls are now closed in Georgia, where today's runoff will determine whether Democrats will gain an edge in the Senate or if Republicans will keep the chamber 50-50. With 46% of the expected votes in, incumbent Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock has 55% of the votes to Herschel Walker's 45%. Warnock won more votes in November, but not enough to prevent a runoff.
The people of Georgia deserve someone who will walk with them, and Georgia's better than Herschel Walker.
Republican challenger Walker not responding to Warnock's attacks, instead focusing on President Biden.
Right now, Georgia is looking for a senator that's going to speak for them. Raphael Warnock has not spoken for Georgia.
If Democrats win this seat and have a 51-49 majority, it could make it easier for them to pass bills and confirm judges. Republicans, however, will have control of the U.S. House.
And House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy is facing a challenge to become the next Speaker of the House. Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs says he wants to be House Speaker. Well, a candidate needs 218 votes on the House floor. The House will have 222 Republican seats in January.
Here in Chicago, the ballots for the mayoral election taking shape. The Chicago Board of Elections conducted the lottery for the top spots today. But as political reporter Craig Wall reports, some pending petition challenges could shake things up.
The political wheel of ballot fortune spinning favorably on December 6th for the candidate with ball number 6. The winner?
That is Jamal Green.
It means a lot when you have a crowded field, right? You know, a lot of people who see all these names in the race, the first name that they see, is going to help a lot.
Following Green on the ballot is Sophia King, Cam Buckner, Willie Wilson, Brandon Johnson, Paul Vallis, and then Mayor Lori Lightfoot. She's followed by Frederick Collins, Johnny LaGalbo, Roderick Sawyer, and Jesus Chuy Garcia.
Sounds like he committed fraud in Jamal Green's filing to me.
But Willie Wilson ally Ricky Hendon is challenging Green's petitions, and if he's successful and gets Green knocked off, then there would be a new king of the ballot.
I'm number 2, and things can happen. You can move up to 1. So I'm excited.
Chuy Garcia, who by default won the last spot on the ballot, with another big win today, a $1 million union donation to bolster his campaign, putting the other candidates on notice.
We're north of $2 million, and we've got commitments for much more. So I'm very confident that we're definitely going to have the money.
This has always been a people-driven campaign. We've been able to get our message out. We'll continue to do that, and I think the contributions will begin to flow in as well.
Wilson, who is self-funding his campaign, is also among those facing a petition challenge brought by Green.
I hope you saw today we got the first spot on the ballot.
And while Green was doing his own fundraising calls, Wilson dismissing both the challenge and the ballot positions.
I think my name is already out there, and people are going to search for who they want to vote for.
Hearings on the petition challenges are set to begin next Monday and will be scheduled over the coming weeks. The Chicago Board of Elections is hoping to have them all finished and the ballots finalized by the first week of January. Craig Wall, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Craig, thank you for that. Governor Pritzker signing off on a series of amendments to the SAFE-T Act, which will take effect January 1st. Now, that includes processes for transitioning to cashless bail and clarification on electronic monitoring procedures and other policies. Well, the governor's office says that the act is meant to level the playing field between wealthy and low-income defendants. Critics say it could put the victims at greater danger.
And by the end of the year, Narcan will be available at all 81 Chicago Public Library branches. That's the nasal spray that can reverse an opioid overdose. Anyone will be able to access it, no questions asked. It's already been available at the Legler Regional Library in West Garfield Park since January.
I think the library is a safe space for a lot of people, and they come here because they feel safe and they feel welcome and not judged. So this is just another resource that the library can provide.
A person does not have to be trained to administer Narcan, and it's not harmful to give to someone who is not experiencing an overdose.
And people across Chicago seeing problems with unreliable CTA service, but it seems delays can be worse depending on which neighborhood you are in. Race and culture reporter Will Jones tonight looking at the problems behind these delays.
Yolanda Lake and Deja Gillard head in different directions for work, but they run into the same roadblocks getting to their destinations, relying on the CTA.
I'm always late. I be late to work all the time.
Their issue? Buses running behind schedule or not on schedule at all.
I just stand here and wait, like I'm doing right now.
The CTA blames the service disruptions on a staffing shortage and absenteeism. The CTA has roughly 1,000 vacancies across various frontline positions, but the majority of open positions are bus operators. The agency says that routes that come out of garages with higher rates of unplanned absenteeism are seeing the most service disruptions. Bus operator unplanned absenteeism system-wide is 14.5%, according to CTA data. The CTA garages on 77th and 103rd had the highest absenteeism rates in the city. The 77th garage at 18% and the 103rd at 17.6%. By way of comparison, on the north side, the CTA North Park garage has an absenteeism rate of 10%. Although the service disruptions are happening all over the city, the impact can be greater on passengers who may not have the means to hail a cab or request an Uber or Lyft.
Because the buses be late, I have to spend like $10, $20 on an Uber just to go up the street. Too much for my pocket. I can't do Uber.
Active Transportation Alliance campaign organizer W. Robert Schultz III says CTA service issues affect more than riders' ability to get to work on time.
It also impacts people when they're headed to medical appointments, when they're planning shopping trips for groceries.
While the CTA works to recruit workers and improve service reliability, passengers say the agency should update their schedules.
They need to make the bus schedules exactly what they're supposed to be.
As the weather cools down, riders don't want to be left out in the cold. Will Jones, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Some positive news about the victim of a brutal attack in Lincoln Park. Dakota Early's mother tweeted out this video of him taking a test walk on his new prosthetic leg. Remember, he was critically injured, lost part of his leg in an armed robbery back in May. His mother says she's overjoyed with Dakota's progress and recovery. It is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, he nearly lost his life.
Yeah, looking at that, I mean, I can imagine her joy, just the fact that he's still alive and his life could have been taken that night. And the steps are symbolic too, moving forward toward the life that, it
sounds like he's
heart.
defied the odds over and over again. And I think it's important that she's sharing his recovery. It probably helps her, at least I hope it does. And for us to see, it's incredible.
She said the support has been medicine for them. You know, for them to know that people have been praying and pulling for them, that is encouraging him to keep going.
They've had a lot of support.
Yeah, all right. Well, just ahead, everybody, people visiting the downtown area, they're hanging out at the Christkindlmarket. You can see them. It's a lot of people, and you can also see performances by some professionals.
Plus our one-on-one exclusive interview with Michelle Obama. Val Warner sits down with her.
Oh, yes, you recognize that song. Of course, people visiting the Christkindlmarket today getting a little taste of Broadway in Chicago. Cast members from Dear Evan Hansen and Cabaret Zazu presents Luminaire performing at the market earlier this evening. Dear Evan Hansen performances, they start tonight at the Nederlander Theater. The show runs through December 31st. That is a fan favorite. So much great talent Great music.
It was crowded over there. I
mean,
walked over there this
yeah.
afternoon. A lot of
You
people waiting.
shopping?
And I did not. I did not
okay.
shop.
What were you doing over there?
I should have got a pretzel.
Oh, he went to get his pretzel.
No, I didn't. I did, but I know there were a lot of people there.
okay.
And then the show, I think there was a matinee, or tonight it was very busy too at the Nederlander. So there it is.
It's a great way to come down, shop there first, and then go to dinner, then go see the concert.
It's good stuff.
You know, and it's nice weather today. I mean, it just wasn't, the sun wasn't shining. And Cheryl said you got to find your inner glow.
I'm
You know,
looking
your
for
inner
it. I want to borrow your glow
I'm
because
like,
you're always
trying.
glowing.
I'm trying.
I mean, you radiate, both of you. And I just
Cheryl's
wanna
got her bright colors on because she
grab
knows.
it, shake it, and hold on to it.
It's so gloomy out.
I know, it hasn't been great.
But yeah, limited sunshine, and it's days here where we're going to see mostly cloudy skies. Right now we sit at 42 degrees, so thankfully we at least have those temperatures near average. Live Doppler 7 max right now, finding a few spotty showers on the map right now, close to the city, just off to the west and southwest a little bit, and these will continue to move off to the east-southeast. Very limited moisture here up to the north, a few snow flurries, and as we go into the evening, a passing sprinkler or two is in the forecast. That's about it. Overnight, as these showers move off to the east during the early morning hours, we will find some fog development and patchy dense fog possible, especially early tomorrow morning. Areas north and west, we're talking reduced visibility, less than a half a mile at times possible, especially areas away from the lakefront. So keep that in mind traveling tomorrow morning. We're looking pretty quiet in terms of our skies, but that fog will be an issue for some of you. Temperatures right now 30s and low 40s. Notice those temperatures back towards DeKalb, getting close to that freezing mark, and dew points in the low to mid 30s. So as these temps drop a few more degrees, saturated atmosphere here, moisture to work with, allowing for some fog development. Now visibility is looking okay right now, but something we'll be monitoring into the overnight hours. As we take a look at our visibility tracker, you can see visibility is dropping less than a quarter of a mile as we head into early Wednesday morning. Closer to the lakefront downtown Chicago, we're looking okay, but still some isolated patchy dense fog areas expected, as tonight we drop off into the low to mid 30s. So the potential also for some freezing fog not out of the question, which means there could be some slick spots. However, road temperatures are above that freezing mark, but I think we'll be okay there. Overcast skies expected through the day tomorrow, limited sunshine, that's the trend, and highs back at 40 degrees for the day tomorrow. Today's high 45, the average 39, so overachieving, which helps us out a little bit when we don't have that sunshine. Now tomorrow, with the morning fog and the cloud cover, temperatures expected to be at a few degrees lower in the low 40s. By Thursday, some rain developing later in the evening, and that could potentially bring us our rain snow mix for Friday, but only for some of you. It's really about where you live. Northern counties, you have the best chance to see some wet snow falling early Friday. But on your radar, you're going to want to know Friday morning it's going to be a damp start to the day. So futurecast, the next disturbance will be developing off to the south of us. This will lift in some steadier rainfall late Thursday, mainly in the warm sector here, with that snow falling across parts of the upper Midwest. So Minnesota into Wisconsin, they're getting in on some snow action. Thursday morning, we start off dry. Rain starts to overspread and lift through the area late Thursday and early Friday. We're looking at that rain falling, and then as temperatures drop early Friday morning into the 30s across our northern counties, a little bit of a rain snow mix, which means some damp pavement, slick pavement expected by Friday afternoon. A lot of that moisture will exit. For tonight, some areas of patchy dense fog, lows in the 30s tomorrow, back in the 40s. Limited sunshine here through the next couple of days. Cloudy skies will be the theme. Temps near normal into the weekend, looking pretty okay in terms of no crazy wet weather, but we do have some drizzle on Saturday, Sunday, seasonable temperatures, and still looking mostly cloudy, but highs near 50 by Tuesday. Back to you.
Okay, a week from now.
See?
Yeah.
We've got something hopeful,
It'll
something to
fly
look
by,
forward to.
yes.
50 is nice. That's like the week, kind of the last week to go shopping and get it done. Kind of like, it's
Gosh, that's
perfectly
scary.
timed, Cheryl.
Time is flying.
Yeah, I know. 19 days, you know, flipped it today.
I saw your
19.
sign today in the yes, thank you.
Yes, all right. Well, several Chicago firefighters and paramedics were honored today for their heroic work.
The awards were presented by the Chicago Fire Department Foundation. In a recorded message, Mayor Lori Lightfoot said, members of the Chicago Fire Department put service over self every day. And today they were recognized for all they do for the city. Well done.
We always say thank you for your service and sacrifice because they're there when you
and
need
worked
them.
hard overnight with that big fire, too.
Exactly.
Building relationships through chess.
Love this story today. Chicago police taking on children today. The annual Cops and Kids Invitational Chess Tournament taking place at the Guaranteed Rate Field. Officers tested their skills against the Chicago Public School students ages and grades 5 through 12. Okay, that idea though is to use chess as a vehicle to build positive relationships between police and Chicago's young people.
I see a lot more pawns and player on the kids' sides there.
Okay, right.
Do you play chess?
I do, but I'm not as good as, you know, as they look like they are. I love to watch when people hit the timer and they do the move.
Going along Lakeshore Drive tour, just have a Lakeshore
summer.
Drive in the summer, you can just
it.
pick up a game with a stranger and play. It's really neat.
I know. My brother used to be excellent. I mean, because it's 5 children in our house, checkers, chess was something, and Monopoly. We played that all the time.
I see Greg Dietrich sometimes playing on his phone over there.
Oh, yeah. See, I heard he's really good, too, on his phone.
We should do we'll do a live show. It'd be you and me.
Okay.
Against Greg.
I got to do a refresher course to get all the names of
right.
the characters, you know, the pieces and stuff. Right. Yeah. So
we'll work on it.
You know, I know checkmate. That's when
you're in good shape.
Right,
you
exactly.
Won.
The kings and the queens.
That's right.
Yes. Okay.
I got a tutorial coming. You can help. You can still help the Disney Ultimate Toy Drive. We're working with the U.S. Marines Toys for Tots program, and there are several ways to donate. You can purchase a toy and donate it at shopdisney.com now through December 24th. And you can also drop off a toy at any one of the many locations in the Chicagoland area through December 21st. And you can find a list of those on our website. Or join Tracy Butler at our Stuff the Truck event Saturday, December 10th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at Apple Chevy in Tinley Park. So wait, that's this Saturday.
Yeah. Like in a couple of days.
This month is flying by.
I know. I dropped off 2 toys yesterday. One of them was so exciting to me. I wanted to kind of keep it because it was a blow-up school bus where the child can get in it and then punch the buttons and then hear the songs. And one of them was the wheels on the bus go round and round, round.
So it was like had an audio component
it had audio and then, you know, the physical, you know, the mental, the sound, all of that engaging intellectual for a young person. I thought it was a yellow school bus blow up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so cool. So
you have time.
Just never
you can
know.
help out. Our viewers are always terrific.
Yeah.
So maybe you can meet Tracy this Saturday or
don't forget teenagers. That's always the group that gets passed over because you don't think about teenagers.
Right. No,
you know, that you always get gifts for the 5-year-olds, 8-year-olds,
toddlers.
Right, toddlers. But so
don't forget the teens. That's a good idea.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. She is back. Yeah. You recognize her. Former First Lady, homecoming, second night, right across the street, you guys. She is in our midst as we have the stream team, the hour of power, of course. But she's sitting down with our own Val Warner.
None of this has to do with money, but it's been the foundation for everything I've been able to do in my life.
Yes, words of wisdom. We will share all of them and more conversation with you. Exclusive content from Val Warner. That's coming up on the other side in the next half hour on the stream team. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama returns to the stage at the Chicago Theater in just a little bit. You're looking live at the theater. It's right across from our State Street studio here. Mrs. Obama also spoke about her new book there last night. This is a return home, as we mentioned, for the former First Lady.
No, she is on a 6-city tour. Of course, she'll culminate in California with Oprah. So that's coming up. But she is here in her hometown, and we are so excited. Of course, she sat down with our very own Val Warner for this exclusive interview you'll only see at ABC7 Chicago. It's about her life, her book, and the importance of having close friends.
We've lost the habit of friendship. And sometimes I was surprised reading studies at how lonely people are. You know, how difficult it is for some people to prioritize friendship. Friendship for me is a tool. And I think it's an important tool for all of us because we are not meant to do this life alone. It is too hard to try to raise your kids on your own without mother and parent friends to just, you know, bat things off of. It's
especially these last few years.
Exactly. It is too hard to go through being an other when you don't have a community of safety that you can fall into. So what I'm telling people is friendship is not a thing you take for granted, right? It's not an extra. It doesn't come after career and children. It comes right up there, right? Because your people are gonna be gone. Your daughter is already gone.
Right.
And your son will be gone in a minute. He will, all right,
He's
Val?
trying to get my
He's gonna,
let him go?
He's gonna go. And if he doesn't, then that's a problem. then we're gonna be talking about something else. It's like, he's still in the basement now.
Not in the basement.
Is he 30? So you don't want that.
Is he 52 and in the basement?
52 and in the basement. We all had that uncle in the basement.
Uncle,
in the back room. Right?
Oh, I know. Right in the family.
You don't want him to be in the back room.
Right. No, we do not want him to be in the back room. Okay, kitchen table. We saw Reverend Roberts do the special, and we saw Mrs. Hart come up to the kitchen table. Is Mr. Obama allowed at the kitchen table?
Yes, but you know, he's like a man. He doesn't know. He doesn't understand how we can talk so much. He usually passes by the kitchen table, right? Because the kitchen table goes on for hours, sometimes days. So he, you know, as a man, he's like, I can't talk that much. You know, he comes past, he's like, y'all still talking? It's like, yes. It's just day 2. I haven't seen her in a while. We're just now getting into the kids, you know. Men don't have, or at least my husband doesn't talk like that.
So do you go in the kitchen?
Yes.
Okay. All right, because I know Wendy is the best cook.
She is by far.
In the house, for sure.
Michelle should meet my mom because she can just talk.
Okay.
I mean, they get to talking. They do.
And friends talk. Women and friendships are very different from men and their friendships.
And we should do our best, and I'm sure the former president does, to just listen.
Well, you know the saying, happy wife?
Yeah. Happy.
Okay.
Yeah,
and so President Obama knows they've been married for 30 years.
A long time.
So they know what's up. I mean, you know, you know how that is. So that was a fun conversation, of course. I know Val said it was a great interview with the former First Lady. Val interviewed her in 2018 when her book Becoming came out as well. So it's interesting to see 4 years advance what's happening.
Well, a lot has changed.
Past pandemic. Her daughters are, you know, mature adults now. She talks about them dating in the book. You know what that's like to have a 20-year-old dating.
It's
you know,
not easy.
Yeah.
Imagine your parents are the Obamas. I mean,
right.
I
know, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of hard too. So such a fun interview, and she is right across the street. The crowd is packed out there
be
tonight.
A packed house again, yeah.
Heather McGhee, the best-selling author, is going to be the moderator tonight. So people who went last night said it was an enjoyable event.
David Letterman moderated that last night.
Yeah, and he talked about stepping on her dress at the inauguration. So that was kind of funny. Right, yeah, that was kind of funny. But, you know, they had a lot of love for each other. And, of course, a lot of people brought their young daughters because they wanted to see what is possible.
You're just looking over there now because people are trying to, it starts at 8. Sometimes they push it back because everybody's got to get in. It's just a diverse group of people. You get young folks, and you just get it's a big variety of people.
You know, and it's always nice the comfortable setting. It's not, you know, it's not a speech. It's a conversation. You get some nuggets that you never thought that you would think about.
Well, she's very candid too.
Yeah, and she can be now.
Yeah.
This is post White House, so you can share your stories. And I love her journey story. You know, I'm a South Sider from South Side of Chicago. My uncle was her school teacher, her brother's teacher at Bryn Mawr, you know, elementary school. So I feel like I have this connection because she's a South Side, Chicago pride, you know, South Side.
I think it'd be hard to argue with anyone who doesn't feel a little bit of connection to that family for what had transpired over 2008 through today. Here we are in 2022.
Remember at the, you know, Springfield, you know, Capitol when they announced.
We just talked about that. They're making a special, and then the presidential library coming, and
so it's always going to be something. We're so glad she's home, and we hope that she's enjoying her visit here. And of course, we're going to have a lot more of Val's conversation with the former First Lady Michelle Obama. That is coming your way tonight, everybody. A lot more at 10 o'clock over on ABC7. So we hope you can join us then, and we hope you've been enjoying tonight's conversation.
You and Ravi will be there with Val to bring some more on her conversation. Look forward to it.
You've got to pay attention because you might learn something too to take home for Wendy.
I told you I'm working on listening.
Okay.
You have made me a better listener.
Good guys.
I'm actually not making that up. You know, this show has made me a better listener.
Well, you know, a lot of people, that's what they want for their holiday present.
Just to listen?
They want people to hear them.
I wish it was that easy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep listening. We
get a lot of points if you do that for Wendy. I know Wendy's listening.
She is, right. I'm doing it. I'm doing my best. We got a lot to get to here at 7. This is a great story, too. The woman set to graduate from Northern Illinois University at age 90. Judy Sue had a great conversation with her.
Age is only a number.
It is for her, right?
Never too late. Plus, Philadelphia cream cheese. It's iconic. Okay, but now they're trying out a new version for the plant-based crowd. It looks a little different. We'll discuss on the other side of this break.
Chunky. It looks a little chunky.
Cottage cheese. Two former actresses on The Cosby Show are among 5 women now suing Bill Cosby. The lawsuit accused Cosby of sexual assault and abuse dating back decades. It also alleges battery, infliction of emotional distress, and false imprisonment. In addition, it also accuses the media companies that ran The Cosby Show from 1984 to 1992 of negligence. Cosby's public relations firm says it believes the court will relieve Cosby of these allegations.
Hundreds of people want the School of the Art Institute to rescind an honorary degree it gave to Kanye West. Chicago rapper who now calls himself Ye has been spewing anti-Semitic hate speech in recent weeks. So a group created an online petition on change.org to strip West of the honor. And so far, the petition's collected more than 1,500 signatures.
And another person has been arrested for allegedly trying to throw an egg at King Charles III. Here you can see security guards walking the king to a different area after that egg was thrown. The king continued to shake hands. Police in the United Kingdom say the man is now being questioned. And you'll recall just last month, another man was arrested for throwing eggs at the king.
Double check any sandwich meat you may have in your fridge. Kraft is recalling its Oscar Mayer ham and cheese loaf USDA says the items may be cross-contaminated with under-processed ingredients. 16-ounce vacuum-packed packages have February 7th, 2023 date codes on the label. More information can be found on our website if you're on it right now. It's ABC7Chicago.com, also our news app too.
And non-dairy cream cheese is now being sold, and the product will soon head to more markets. Philadelphia Cream Cheese is selling a plant-based version of its spread made with coconut oil, bean protein, and other ingredients. Now it's currently being sold in Atlanta, Houston, Miami, and a few other cities. A wider rollout is supposed to happen next summer.
Try it.
So it sounds good and healthy.
Right?
I'm game. Put it on a bagel.
Boom.
Toast a bagel. See, that sounds good, right? All right, we've got a story that really just confirms you are never too old to go back to school. We will introduce you to a 90-year-old. Yes, look at her gorgeous face. She is set to graduate from college this weekend. We have that story, but first, everybody, let's check in with Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl.
Cloudy skies continuing, some showers, and then late week we introduce some heavy, steadier rain late Thursday, and by Friday morning we could see some snow falling in parts of the region. We'll time this out coming up.
Dream decades in the making Chicago proud. At 90 years old, Joyce DeFau will finally graduate from Northern Illinois University this weekend. Her first time in school, she took a gap year.
Yeah, that is what greatness looks like. She is planning to return to school next year, but didn't make it back to the classroom until decades later. Judy Sue tonight sharing Joyce's determination to get her degree.
In just a few days, Joyce DeFau will finally wear her cap and gown and officially cross the stage at Northern Illinois University, a journey that began in 1951. This was her college ID.
I went 3.5 years and then I quit. In the meantime, I met this certain gentleman that stole my heart and my eye, and we decided to get married.
Joyce grew up in a small farming community outside the Quad Cities, going to grade school in a one-room schoolhouse. A few years after dropping out of college to get married, Joyce's life took another turn.
We had 3 children, and then he passed away, and I was widowed 5 years.
Joyce eventually remarried and had 6 more children. That college diploma seemed further away.
I was just busy with the family from, I would say, 55 until, that's when I married, until 2019.
Now a grandmother of 17, Joy says while she didn't think much about returning to college, it was always a wish.
I guess I told my children, I wish I'd have finished, way back when instead of, and they said, well, what's stopping you now? Some of the children suggested that, and I thought, well, nothing, I guess.
So with the help of her adult children, Joyce, who was no longer driving, began taking classes using a computer, she says, for the first time.
I did not have one. I never knew how to use one, but we got one. They got one for me, and that's how I went to class.
In 4 years of taking classes, Joyce was on campus only once when NIU honored students doing well after the first semester. And now she will return in person to finish the journey that began nearly 70 years ago with this message for others like her younger self.
Don't give up. Even if you do quit, go back. Just hang in there. Keep learning. Keep giving thanks. It's there for you. Just go for it.
Judy Sue, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Oh, she went for it.
Okay, keep learning, never give up.
Yeah.
Go back if you want to. And look, she's 90 years old.
Yeah,
and what did you tell me about? She set up her own
so
Zoom?
she hadn't Zoom before, Judy was telling me.
Wow.
Set it up, no problem. We had one of her granddaughters, I think, on the call. So she said in the package, 17 grandkids and 24 great-grandkids.
Yeah, 9 children.
Right, with 2 more on the way, I think. So she's I mean, how do you, that's a lot of kids.
That's a lot. Well, I mean, it's joyful, though.
That party's going to be great, is what I was saying. That college graduation party's going to be something.
And no child or grandchild or great-grandchild has an excuse for not going to college after grandma,
Totally.
right? Grandma set the standard, okay?
Hi. So
I
it's
mean,
good.
Joyce looks amazing. Congratulations. What a great gift this time of the year.
graduate.
And maybe we can come to the celebration. I hope she allows us in.
Right, or will they send us some pictures or share something?
Follow up on that to
Good
see
call.
what it's like.
Yeah.
Oh, wisdom, I tell you. All right, what about Mariah Carey being honored? What? In a comic book form.
Queen
okay.
of Christmas? I'm still calling her that.
Yeah, me too.
Good.
Yeah.
Plus, the 2006 film The Holiday has been trending on social media sites all day with reports of a sequel.
Uh-oh.
What cast members and the original film's director are saying. Michelle, our producer, you're going to have to help me on this one. I never saw it.
Michelle probably loved it and has seen it more than 3 times. We'll talk about it. I'm sure she has. She isn't talking.
That's why it's in
though.
the show.
All right, that's right. All right, we'll be right back.
Okay, this is the fun segment of the show. How many times have you seen The Holiday, Michelle?
Our producer.
7 or 8 times. You were right.
So
you underestimated.
yeah, she's been hearing the rumors all day coming out of London, I think the UK, about a sequel to The Holiday. It's in the works, or is it not-ish?
This is the big question. If you're
Okay.
looking forward to it, we have some bad news. The director of the 2006 film says she's received a lot of messages about this, and she posted on Instagram that it's not happening. The rumors stem from a tabloid article which claimed both Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet had signed on to star. But Winslet says it's never come up. So that means it's not happening.
But that doesn't mean, no.
This is true,
She
you're
just
right.
said it's never come up. Okay.
Now it has, and you think they don't want to do it.
She's being interviewed on the red carpet in the UK because they were having a movie film debut. And all of the entertainment reporters, which is the question to ask, you know, what are you wearing? What do you, and if you've been in an older movie that's 20, 30 years, you know, what do you think about a reboot? It's just the questions that the entertainment reporters generally ask.
We're going to talk about a sequel.
In a minute, right?
I seriously, I mean, if you get all this buzz and you get both of them to sign on to it, it's done.
Right. I mean, what was the movie? Diane Sawyer just had the cast of Love Actually, and that's 20 years old. Okay, so people were talking about that movie a lot.
People love sequels or reboots.
You know, and they love stories, rom-coms. You know, yeah. So stay tuned, Kate Winslet. You never know. All right, yeah, King of the World. All right, now, tomorrow a new comic book comes out celebrating the life and career of Mariah Carey. Tidal Wave Comics has added the singer to their Female Forces series, which celebrates successful women. The 22-page book will share the story of her childhood and her rise to fame with her 8-octave voice. There will be 3 covers of the comic, with one calling Carey the Queen of Christmas.
Yes.
Rob, I know
Yes.
you made that possible, even though she lost her legal battle to trademark that title. It doesn't matter. That's what we call her.
I feel like Mrs. Claus is technically the queen.
Well, who is the Queen of Christmas? Well, like, is it Mrs. Claus?
I would think so, right? They're the king and queen.
I don't know. Is he the king? He's Santa Claus.
This is true.
So I don't know.
But she's very important.
That's a really good question. Right. I mean, in you know, Mariah Carey's fans, what are they called? Not the glitters. The
Is there
I got
a
her.
name for
Yeah,
them?
she's got her fans. I got to think of the names of them. I can't believe I can't think of it at the top of my head. But she had, you know, like Taylor has the Swifties. Mariah has hers as well, and they will make sure that it continues to be front and center.
The lamblies?
Oh, I don't. Right. Okay, that's a new one. Wow. You know, because the lambs. Yeah, there was the lamb, and then the lamblies family. So that's an upgraded version.
Thank you, Michelle.
I know she's so resourceful.
Holding my hand,
we
walking me through this.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about the fans of the show Scandal.
Okay.
ABC. Oh yeah, Olivia Pope, the white coat, soon to be able to relive some iconic moments in a new way. Shondaland audio plan to produce a new podcast called Unpacking the Toolbox, starring Katie Lowes and Guillermo Diaz, who played Quinn and Huck, which will rewatch the series from start to finish and then share the behind-the-scenes stories.
That's cool.
The podcast is expected to debut next year. And of course, Shonda Rhimes, born and raised in the Chicago area.
If you're a fan of that and you can listen to your favorite actors talk about the episodes, that's good stuff. That's podcast worthy.
I mean, I'm going to listen because I have my own fantastic Scandal story. Yes, if we want to share it now, do we have time or not? Or we can talk about it when the podcast comes out. But I have an incredible story.
Wait, you are in a scandal?
Well, it's Scandal, Kerry Washington. I've got the story. Do we have time? No. If we don't, we've got time to talk about the hit series Abbott Elementary.
Yeah, we'll do that. Well, but you weren't in a scandal.
No, but
you're very willing to tell us
have interviewed every single cast member of Scandal, and including who the real story is after. Ooh. Who Shonda Rhimes wrote this. I've had conversations with her. In fact, I have a gigantic poster in my office that she signed for me.
You need to be on this podcast.
And she worked for President Bush, and she had to answer the question all the time, did they have an affair? Because in Scandal, see, the story's so juicy good. Okay. All right, we'll talk about it when the podcast starts. But I got some really good stories.
This sounds like it.
Yeah.
The ABC hit series Abbott Elementary is the top nominated show at the 2023 Critic Choice Awards in the TV category. The show has 6 nominations, including Best Comedy Series and Best Actress in a Comedy Series for creator Quinta Brunson. Better Call Saul received 5 nominations in the drama series. Film nominations will be announced next week, with awards being handed out in January.
Yeah, Abbott Elementary is such a fantastic show. I mean, the creator, Quinta Brunson, is brilliant.
Oh, did I say Quinta? Quinta, sorry. Quinta.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, she'll
call you.
She
might be an episode.
The characters, that's the
Right, they're so funny, you know. And I love Cheryl Lee Ralph. She got the Emmy Award for it, and her speech was so inspirational. I love everything about it.
Yeah.
I mean, so Abbott
Any
Elementary, go.
Stories? You got any stories on that?
Yeah. Oh.
No. Well, maybe. Hey, we're about done with this show. We have 6 or so minutes. Live look outside. Meteorologist Cheryl Scott is here with us today, talking about seasonable stuff.
I know, Cheryl. Everybody
the scandalous story is way better than what's
It's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a great story when you talk about the person it really the show was after. Viola Davis was so good in it. But anywho, Cheryl, it's really nice that it's nice outside because it's packed on State Street outside the Chicago Theater.
It's
everybody is just outside in a good mood. You know, they got coats and jackets on, some hoods and boots and gloves, but still, it's not too bad outside to wait in line to go inside the Chicago Theater to see former First Lady.
Yes, I mean, looking pretty quiet, a few sprinkles possible. We have our temps above freezing, so we'll take that because we aren't getting really any sunshine this week. So at least our temperatures aren't below freezing, or we'd really be feeling that cold air yet again. But live Doppler 7 max right now beginning to dry out in the city with those showers just passing off to the south and east. We're talking just a few sprinkles expected here as we head into the evening. A weak little disturbance is moving on through and limited moisture, but a few sprinkles, some moisture that will lead to some patchy fog as we head into the overnight hours and early tomorrow. So we leave the threat of some showers before midnight. Overnight, we dry out. Temperatures start to drop into about the low to mid 30s. We're looking at some patchy dense fog development overnight, especially areas off to the north and west. And then tomorrow, we are stuck under the clouds yet again. Mostly cloudy skies expected throughout the entire day, and temperatures a little bit lower than today. Outside right now, upper 30s and low 40s, but notice these dew points in the 30s, and that's pretty much where our temperatures will be dropping tonight. So we're going to saturate that air mass a bit and allow for some fog to develop. Checking in on visibilities right now, looking okay. Overnight, as we track them, you can see the visibility really dropping, especially areas off to the north and west. So some pockets of patchy dense fog expected overnight, especially away from the lakefront. Tonight's lows, like I said, falling off close to those dew points into about the low to mid 30s. Into the day tomorrow, we'll see those highs right near 40 degrees, a few degrees cooler than today under mostly cloudy skies with that morning fog and cloud cover lingering. Don't think we'll hit 45 tomorrow, but the average 39. So if we get into the 40s, we're still looking pretty okay in terms of our average high temperatures. In the next 3 days, we're in the 40s. Notice still the clouds lingering throughout our days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then a storm system will bring some rain late Thursday with a rain-snow mix overnight Thursday into early Friday. Not everyone's going to see the snow, but some wet snow falling Friday morning, and some rain will create for a messy, damp commute Friday morning. So plan accordingly for that. Taking a look across the country, looking pretty quiet, but it's off to the south and west that our next storm system starts to develop. This will feed in the cloud cover as well as the moisture as we head especially into the day on Thursday. Some heavier, steady rain moving in Thursday night, and then a switch over to some snow shower activity here. So we'll zoom in closer. Thursday morning, we start off dry, a few isolated showers developing into the afternoon, pausing this at 6. We do have that rain lifting in, hitting our southwest counties first and then continuing to overspread the region. Again, some steadier rain expected Thursday night into early Friday. Take a look overnight. Some moderate rainfall here expected. And then there's that switch over. You can see that snow falling close to our state line. Southeast Wisconsin has a better shot of seeing that snow, but for Lake and McHenry County, keeping in the threat of some early morning wet snow, which will create some damp, slick pavement, because it will be a wet snow event for us. So still plan accordingly for a slower commute Friday morning. For tonight into the 30s, tomorrow highs back in the low to mid 40s, mostly cloudy skies, rain developing late Thursday, rain snow early Friday. We dry out late Friday. By Saturday, some spotty drizzle in the forecast and mostly cloudy skies continuing into early next week. We'll be back.
We have done another streaming newscast.
Yes, for Tuesday.
Yeah, right? Our year anniversary's coming up in a couple months.
I know, I was thinking about that. Maybe just 1 month.
Yeah.
January 10th. All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you at 10 over on ABC7. Thank you for joining us tonight.
It is a month, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.